Hi guys, welcome to week 2, day 9. We have glute stabilization. So yesterday we learned how to activate the glutes. Now we're going to stabilize the glutes. And what I mean by stabilizing the glutes is making sure that when we're doing movements and let's, for example, a plank, you're holding a plank position, that when you shift, let's say we do forward reaches, that when we reach, that our hip isn't going to drop, okay? So we want to make sure our hips are stabilized, so they're holding still, so they're stabilizing us like this. So if we're on a boat, we're not gonna fall over, right? We're stabilized, so we're holding still, we're strong, a strong unit in movement, that with movement, that we could stay still, okay? So that's the concept of it. So with glute stabilization, this is a big one because a lot of our movements require glute stabilization, so hip stabilization. So let's say when we go into a reverse lunge, a back lunge, that when we pick up our foot to slide it back to go on one leg, that when we lift up, that we're not caving and we're not able to uphold through the core, through the glutes, through the hips, this motion, right? So my glutes are stabilizing this movement. So when I don't have glute stabilization, I'm not going to be able to lift up and go back. It's going to look kind of funny because we're not, our glutes are not firing up. They're not stabilizing the hip the way they should be. So stabilizing the hip, super, super important. We have 7 exercises and we're gonna do them 2 rounds for 30 seconds each. So before you move on to the next exercise, make sure you're doing the 2 before you move on. So if we have the reverse lunges, reverse lunge, 30 seconds, 30 seconds. And then you're gonna do it again for the second round, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, okay? And then you go on to the next exercise. So it's kind of dark in here. It's a little bit cloudy today, so it's not as nice as it's been. Yesterday I went rollerblading with my niece and I'm dead. That's why I struggled this morning to wake up. My body was so sore. So before you start a new sport or new activity, take it easy because now I'm paying for it. All right, first one is a reverse 3-step lunge. So you're gonna spend 30 seconds and I'm gonna start on my weaker side, okay? So remember your breathing. Exhale, pull up that pelvic floor. And with that exhale, I want you to initiate that movement. Okay, initiated. Okay, that's the first part to the 3-step lunge. Okay, so just practice just a couple, and it's not holding for anything. I just want you to shift over just to get used to that movement before we actually go into the 3-step, okay? Okay, so that's the first movement. So back. So you just go back a little bit further. You break in the hip, and I'm going to show you sideways. So first movement, it's just a small, I call it a kickstand, okay? Okay. So now my knee bends even more. I have more of a forward lean because I want to put pressure through that glute, okay? And the foot steps back even further. Last part. And I come a little bit more upright. So I'm not leaned as far forward. I'm a little bit more upright. Still have a forward lean, and I step back further, okay? And then pull up, okay? So here we go, big breath. Kickstand. Further reach. Further reach. Okay, and up. So this portion, so if you go, let's say 10 seconds. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Use the count as your breath. Use your breath as the count. So each slow inhale and exhale, just count it as that, okay? So instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for 30 seconds, just set a timer and just focus on that breath. Okay? Up, step back. So do 2 on each side, and then we have the reverse lunge slide. So the way it's gonna look, remember everything with that exhale. So kickstand, and then slide, your foot's gonna slide against the carpet. Slide back up, okay? Inhale. Kickstand. Inhale. Exhale, slide. And if reverse lunge is hard, just rest here. Inhale. Up. Exhale. Slide. All right, so 2 each side. Third one, hip hinge squat, lateral step. Okay. So we're gonna hip hinge. So that's hip hinge is breaking the hip. Okay. So just pushing your butt back to the wall. Knees are soft, so but they're not bent. It's not like a squat. Okay. So this is me straight, and if I stick my butt back with my knees locked out, so they're super straight, I can't push back very far. So the moment you put a slight bend in the knees and then push back, that's a lot further, right? So we're going to break the hip, keep the back straight, and we're going to sidestep. So when you sidestep, you're going to shift over the stabilizing leg, and then we're just going to sidestep, bring in. Okay? Shift, sidestep, bring in. So what you're noticing about the hips is when I break, shift, and pull, I think you could see this properly, that when I'm shifting, nothing's dropping or lifting, right? It's staying put here. So break, shift over, and step that leg out and in. See, you should, because when we do exercises like this, which we do like this, you're going to be able to stabilize that hip for that movement. Okay, so other side. So break the hip, soften the knees, core pulled in, thinking about that breath, and exhale on the movement. So inhale, exhale, pull up that pelvic floor, shift, okay. So again, I'll watch my hands, that when I shift over, everything stays in this line. Okay, there's nothing, my hips are not shifting up and down. Okay, just so you can visually see what's going on. So shift and step. See that? There's slight movement, but that's okay, but it's not major movements, right? So you want to shift over. So shift, stabilize, breath. Okay. Okay. So 2 per side. Oh, here comes the baby. Hi, Boo Boo. So the next one we have is the slide. So same thing. We're gonna start on this side. Inhale, shift over, exhale. This time, bend the knees slightly more and slide to wherever you can slide, okay? It doesn't have to be a big slide. All I'm looking for is stabilizing the hip. So let's go sideways. So even if that movement's small, that's okay. So break, slightly bend in the hip, in the knees more, because when we slide down, we're naturally gonna obviously go down more as our leg goes out, right? So that movement could be small, like this leg straight, this leg bent to here and pull in. Just slow and controlled. Control those hips, control the alignment, but nothing is shifting or going down. Hi, baby. Hi. Looks like we're adding weight to this one. All right, so with the sidestep slide, when you're sidestepping and sliding, make sure that you're having a ground, like you wear socks on carpet, it'll slide, or socks on the hardwood, okay? It's all just slow and controlled. The length of what you do doesn't matter. It's just even the smallest movement, as long as you're trying to stabilize the hips. The stronger that the hips are, the further you can go with the strength, okay? Second one. So the next one is glute bridge hold. Gonna fire up mama's glute. All right, so tuck your heels in further, okay? And we did this one yesterday. Inhale, exhale, hold. 30 seconds, as long as you can. And try not to allow those hips to dip. I don't want to lose the baby, so I'm holding her up evenly. So 30 seconds. Come down, rest, and then, and then breathe in, exhale, lift up. And think about the breaths through this movement. Inhale through the ribs, exhale, pull up the pelvic floor. Okay, so 30 seconds have passed, so now we're going to single leg. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky, okay? So just play within the range that you can do. So inhale, exhale, lift. So this is where hip stabilization is really going to take effect. So I'm going to start on my weaker side. So I'm going to stabilize, okay, stabilize, so that when I lift, my hips don't drop, okay? So what that lift could look like is you just taking a little bit weight off one leg, okay? So that means as if you're going to pick up the leg, but don't fully pick it up. Just engage here and then lightly lift off. So you can see my heel just lightly points and I'm offsetting, so most of my weight comes onto this side, on the opposite side, stabilizing the glute, right? So it's not a whole lift off, which is fine, we'll eventually get there. But right now it's just stabilizing. Whoo, it burns. So it's really just stabilizing that hip. So when you do lift, nothing shifts. So that's the important part, okay? So we're here, and we just lightly lift off, adding more pressure to this side, but making sure our hips are staying still, right? It's not even a big movement, but you're gonna notice, holy smokes, what the heck? Lift off. Okay, and try to hold that for 30 seconds per side, or as long as you can. Okay, 30 seconds, just a number that is optimal, but if it's 10 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever it is, just practice that within the 30 seconds, okay? Plank knee drops. And what I mean, okay, I don't want to confuse you guys. Each move, set a timer for 30 seconds. So each one may not be 30 seconds. So if we're doing the glute bridge and you can only hold one leg for 3 seconds, you're going to repeat that as many times as you can within the 30 seconds. But if you can do it for the 30 seconds, you're going to do that twice. So same thing with the other ones. Actually, if you cannot hold it for the 30 seconds, only do the one round, because that's going to over fatigue you. So if you are noticing that you cannot hold any of it for 30 seconds, then I want you to break it down, okay? It's not supposed to be super fatiguing. You're supposed to feel it stabilizing. It'll burn for sure. But when it starts feeling like it's really a lot, then take it easy. You don't need to push yourself to that limit, okay? None of this is meant to be at that limit. Okay, next one is plank knee drops. So how that looks is you're in a plank position, okay? Oh, I'm all scrunched up here. Okay, plank position and knee drops and up. Knee drops and up. So do that for 30 seconds. So I don't want to see arching of the back or your butt up to the sky, okay? So you're not arching or butt to the sky, you're tucked under here and drop and lift. Okay. Next one, last one is a side plank hold. A lot of people can't do the side plank, which is fine, totally fine, but we're gonna try to strengthen it as much as we can, okay? So elbow under the shoulder, okay? So get up straight like this. So if I'm bent knees, so I want you to do bent knee, not straight leg. So this is a lot easier than doing it straight leg, but it's stronger because this is where the core strength is, right? So knees, shoulders in line with each other. Okay, your butt's back a little bit. So ready, and lift for as long as you can, 30 seconds. We're pushing up the hip, so we don't want to see sagging. If you're sagging, then we don't have the strength, right? So I want you to place that hand down, take that breath, lift up. So it's just a little lift. If this is too hard, I just want you to focus on the lift up through the hip, like this, okay? 30 seconds. Nothing, don't need to add anything in. This is perfect the way it is, just stabilizing the hips. Okay, so two rounds for 30 seconds. And play around, see what feels like. You know, when we're stabilizing the hip, I know I have a lot of imbalances because I hip carry on one side more dominantly, and I have a real hard time shifting over. But when I do, I notice that my shoulder hurts a little bit more. You'll just being a little bit more mindful of well, how does it feel when I do certain things? If something's painful for any of these, you may have like a low back injury or a knee injury. If you're noticing any aggravation, don't do that exercise. There's enough exercises in this program where you don't have to do everything. So if something does not feel right, don't do it, okay? That is so important because form and technique is really, really, really important to me as a trainer. So I don't want to see anybody doing something that's beyond their threshold. And their threshold doesn't just mean that it's sore, it makes it sore, it's painful, it's, well, that doesn't feel right. If it doesn't feel right, then it's probably not right. And if it's not feeling right, please record yourself and send me the recording so I can check your form just to make sure that you're doing it properly, okay? And that maybe there's a slight tweak on your form that makes the world of a difference. Because if we're doing a push-up and it hurts your shoulders because you're doing it this way, tucking your elbows in eliminates any shoulder pain. So just a slight shift can mean a world of a difference for that exercise. So before you toss that exercise out because, oh, that one hurts me, check with me first. Let me see your form. Let me see that you're doing it properly. And then I'll let you know if you could toss it or not, because we could probably adjust and make it so that it's more comfortable for you. Okay, so we are midway through this week. It sure doesn't feel like it. Everything feels like it blends. But yeah, so let me know if you have any questions. Enjoy your day. Maybe today is a chore day in the house. Maybe it's a craft day with the kids. Whatever your day looks like, just enjoy the most of it. We're here for a while. And yeah, so anyway,